YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, reacting to more of NFL Network's top 100 players list. Not only do I react to them, I also compare their ranking to my ranking, which I did a while back based off this last season alone. So it's pretty cool to see how different they are. And I had to make this video. Usually I wait until they reveal 20 players at a time, then I make this video. So we're only going through 10 here, but we have a match here. There was a player that they ranked that is the same exact rank that I had. So pretty crazy that that happened. In the last episode, we were one away on one player, one rank away. So pretty cool to see how they compare here. And again, my rankings were based off last season. I made them, only based off last season once the season ended. So we'll go through these in just a second. Subscriber goals at 40K by the end of this year. We much appreciate if you can subscribe to our channel. Anybody that does subscribe, we appreciate you very much. We got a bunch of predictions coming, some fantasy videos, and then during season, all kinds of stuff. Recapping each week. I usually go on rants in those, well, last year at least. And then we got regular straight-up picks with the boys of the Goat House and score predictions, power rankings each week, all kinds of stuff. We got you covered, so please subscribe. Click that like button, and then check out our Twitter, as you see in the top right, and a link in the description. But let's start with number 60 here. Number 60 was Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Legend, unfortunately, was not ranked in my rankings. And like I say in every one of these videos, when I actually sat down and did the top 100 for the first time at the end of this year, which I'll do it going forward based on every year, I realized that, 100's a big number, but it was tough squeezing 100 guys in there. So some guys like Larry Fitzgerald just couldn't make the cut. A lot of receivers I didn't really have making the cut. They had to really wow me all year. I'm looking for consistency all year because since some guys are real close, something has to be a deciding factor. So Larry did not make the list, but I'm not surprised he's number 60. Voted by the players. He's very well respected, a future Hall of Famer, and a lot of those players that played against him for years know that. So it doesn't surprise me all that much that he's number 60. Can't believe he was 27 the year before, though, so a little bit of a drop, but was not ranked for me, and there was some reasons like I explained for why. Well, number 59 was Zach Martin. I didn't rank Zach Martin either. Like I said, it's tough to rank 100 players. And even though Zach Martin, I think in general, is a top 100 player, and maybe, in general, you can argue is the best guard in football. But I did not rank him. He missed 2 games, I believe it was last year. Played 14 games. So that was the deciding factor when it was pretty close between guys. You got to start splitting hairs and decide on 100 players and, how many different positions there are in football. So he did not make it. But again, it doesn't surprise me because I think the players that go against him know he's a top guard in the league at any time, any year. So I think that's why he gets ranked. I guess maybe a little surprised he was up at 59. Moving up from 71 to 59 when he missed some games this year, I guess is a little surprising. I don't know if I really agree with it if it's based on last year, but if I were to make 100 players just now, based on right now or going forward, he would definitely be in there. But based off last year alone, he did not make the cut here. Quite a few guys in this episode, these 10 guys that were unranked for me. So pretty interesting stuff. And then we have one guy that was exactly right coming up. Number 58 was A.J. Green. Did not rank him. He also missed some games, and I think he's capable of more, giving us more. Tyler Boyd seemed like their top receiver last year. So, again, in general, A.J. Green is easily a top 100 player, one of the top receivers in the league based off last year, which I guess the sense most of the time that the NFL Network's list is based off last year because they talk about what they did last year. But then some of these guys ranked kind of make me think, is it now? Like, it's a little confusing. They never really tell you for sure. But not ranked for me, and there was reasons for that, like I explained, 58. And again, one that I don't really agree with if it's based off last year, but not surprising because he's well respected, a top receiver, and everyone knows it. So it's not really a surprise. Number 57 was Danielle Hunter, who I actually had all the way up at 17 based off last year. I mean, what didn't this guy do for that team last year? I know the Vikings didn't make the playoffs, but he carried that pass rush on that team. It was a top pass rush, too. You go look at it. They were a top-tier pass rush team, and it was because Danielle Hunter. Everson Griffin, kind of known as their guy for pass rush over the years, he was out several games, and when he came back, he really wasn't himself. It was a weird year for him in general. So Danielle Hunter had to carry this team, and there was just games where you're just blown away by what he's doing, not only the sacks but the pressure. And then what people forget is that he's an elite run stopper for a defensive end. He'll rack up the tackles. He won't let people by him. He came in the league as a run stopper first and has added all this quarterback pressure to his game. So he's one on the rise, and I was a little disappointed that he was down at 57, if it is indeed based off last year, because he was absolutely ridiculous last year. That's why he was up at 17 for me. 56, Joey Bosa. I didn't have him ranked. He missed too many games. So like a player like this being ranked here at 56 kind of tells me maybe it's not just based off last year. They make it seem like it sometimes, but something like this tells me maybe it's not. So it's a little weird. The list is weird to me. Didn't play enough games. In general and going forward, easily a top 100 player. A true 4-3 end. I think he's at the top of the 4-3 ends, right there with Danielle Hunter, we just talked about. So, in general, yeah, I'm okay with the 56 rank. You see 37 last year, so that kind of tells you, again, maybe it is based off this past year because he dropped down, but didn't really drop down enough for missing the amount of games he did. Came back, was pretty solid when he came back, though. But I did not rank him because I got to choose 100 players that played best last year. Joey Bosa wasn't in there. And I think you should understand that. People are kind of overreacting in the comments thinking, how do I not have this guy ranked? This guy's a great player. He's a great player. My rankings are based off what they did last year. I'm doing rankings right now, position rankings on the channel that are predicting the upcoming year. And then at the end of next year, I'll do this again with my 100 players that were best in that season, 2019-2020 season. 55 was Xavier Howard. I had at 69, so really not much of a difference there. You can't argue anything there. So they had him a little higher. Was a interception machine. He was a playmaker. So it's tough to split up guys of different positions. So I guess that results in a little bit of a difference here. But 55, 69, not going to argue anything. I think I don't have a problem with their rank either. 54 is Calais Campbell, and pretty much a similar situation. Not too many spots off there. 54 for them, 63 for me. And you see he was 14 2 years ago, and he dropped down. It was kind of similar situation for me. I thought 2 years ago he had an elite season, and last year was a very solid season. So impressive what he's able to do, like getting up there in age, but I think he can stay the same going forward. I'm not going to say he's going to start declining because of his age. I think he's good enough to stay about the same. I don't know if this guy's going to get any better, but we know what he's capable of, what he can do, and still easily in the top 100 list. Very impressive. They got him, Ngakoue, and now they got Josh Allen in the mix. So maybe a little less snaps for him, but that could be a good thing going forward. Number 53, look at that. The same exact rank for Mike Evans on my rankings based off last year in NFL Network's top 100 voted by the players. 53. Pretty crazy that happened. The last video we did, we covered the last 20 rankings before this. Philip Lindsay was one off. So I was like, so close. I wonder if we're going to get one. I wonder if we're going to get one. And then Mike Evans pops up. And I had to go look at my list right away because I knew it might have been 53. It kind of rang a bell, and he was right at 53. So that's pretty crazy. So it makes sense to me. I was surprised to see him not ranked last year. I did not remember that. Not ranked for the NFL Network list. So I guess there's really nothing else to talk about here is that he's number 53 based off last year. I guess that's locked in. There's no arguing it. No, I'm kidding. I think other people have other opinions, but pretty wild that they were both at 53. I thought that was pretty cool that happened. So 52 was Tyron Smith, and although I do think you could argue maybe the top tackle in football, I did not have him ranked. I didn't rank a whole bunch of linemen, just the ones that really stood out to me. But Tyron Smith, I think, is, again, if I made top 100 list right now in general or going forward, or the guys based off their past combined, not just last year, he would easily make the list. Somewhere around 52 probably, maybe a little better even. But based off last year, he did not make the cut for me. But nothing surprising there. And then the last one on the list was number 51, Deshaun Watson. I did not have him ranked. I didn't go quarterback crazy in my rankings. I like Deshaun Watson. If you saw my quarterback rankings for this upcoming season, you know that I like him, and I'm high on him. But I did not put him in here. Maybe if the offensive line was a little better, I think he easily would have made his way in here. But I didn't go, if you guys remember my rankings, I didn't go too many quarterbacks at all, really. I think some people when ranking, just because they're quarterback, they throw him in here. But Deshaun Watson's fun. He's real good. He's really good under pressure, even though he had a lot of it. And he's well on his way up the rankings here. So definitely one for the future going forward. Definitely would put him in my top 100, but he didn't just miss the cut last year. Definitely was one I was considering putting in there, but just so many positions, so many players at different positions, and almost like new positions are created as we're going forward in these creative offenses, really. And, the slot corner on the defensive side is just more important than ever right now. So many players to rank. 100 spots to me, once you start sitting down and ranking them, isn't enough. You almost feel bad leaving guys out. So that's just what happens. So, Watson and some other guys, definitely guys of the future, definitely guys I would include in my 100 going forward. So yeah, we're going to continue on with these videos. Pretty interesting to compare my rankings versus their rankings. So we'll see here who's left to come on the NFL Network's list. We're also doing, like I said, position rankings for the upcoming season. We did plenty of positions so far. More to come tomorrow, which is Sunday the 28th. I will have a defensive tackle ranking list. So 4-3 defensive tackles is what will be coming. We did 3-4 nose tackles. We'll eventually do 3-4 defensive line, but that's coming. So we'll get there. Subscriber goal, you saw it. So please subscribe to the channel. Can't wait for the season. We got you covered during the season, but that's going to do it for this one. Thanks everyone for watching. Goodbye.